A phenomenal number of new cars were launched in 2017, and we only expect that number to grow in 2018 with a bunch of exciting new metal on the cards for the coming months. We're taking you through a comprehensive list of cars you can expect to see in showrooms very soon. And on today's edition, it's time for the type of car that India and indeed the world has simply fallen in love with: SUVs. The Honda CR-V. There is an all-new Honda CR-V slated for launch in mid-2018, and the big news is that it's going to feature a diesel engine for the first time. The engine in question is a 160 horsepower 1.6-litre twin-turbo motor mated to a 9-speed automatic gearbox, while the petrol engines will be carried over from the current CR-V. The second bit of big news is that it's a 7-seater this time around, which is great news in a market like India. The new SUV features a high-quality cabin that uses soft-touch plastics and a 7-inch touchscreen with smartphone connectivity options. Will it be able to recreate the success the CR-V once enjoyed? We'll soon find out. The Hyundai Creta facelift. Handsome looks, a premium feel, space, loads of equipment and refined performance made the Creta the best seller it is today. And, keeping in line with the brand's design philosophy, the SUV will receive a facelift that gives it a new grille, new bumper design, revised headlamps and tail lamps, and a boost in equipment levels. Slated to launch by mid-2018 with the same engine options, expect a slight bump in price. The Hyundai Compact SUV. Hyundai doesn't have a product in the hot-selling sub-4-meter compact SUV class to take on the Ford EcoSport, Maruti Brezza, or Tata Nexon, but it will soon be joining the fray by the end of 2018 with a baby SUV based on the Carlino concept we saw at the 2016 Auto Expo. Keeping in mind the brand's recent track record, expect high-quality interiors and a long equipment list. Powering this compact SUV will be the tried and tested 1.4-litre diesel motor from the i20, but also an all-new 1-litre turbocharged petrol motor. The Jeep Renegade. Still basking in the success of the Compass, Jeep is looking to strengthen its Indian lineup with its Wrangler-inspired baby SUV, the Renegade. It is as long as a Renault Duster, but is both wider and taller, which translates to more space in the cabin. Engine options will be shared with the Compass, with the 140 horsepower 1.4-litre turbo petrol carried over unchanged, but the 2-litre diesel in a lower 140 horsepower state of tune in the Renegade. Being a Jeep, when launched in the end of 2018, it is also expected with 4-wheel drive in the fully loaded variants, and it will be assembled at FCA's Ranjangaon plant. The Mahindra SsangYong REXTON. The outgoing REXTON didn't quite strike a chord with Indian buyers, and now Mahindra SsangYong is ready with an all-new model which looks far more upmarket and modern. It is lighter than the current model, has a longer wheelbase for a more comfortable third row, and the interior is well put together with a large 9.2-inch touchscreen, soft touch plastic and quilted Napa leather upholstery. The Mahindra XUV 300. Mahindra is collaborating with SsangYong to develop two SUVs based on the SsangYong Tivoli, which could be rebadged as the Mahindra XUV 300 for the Indian market. There will be a 5-seat version which will compete with the likes of the Tata Nexon and Maruti Brezza, and a 7-seat version to take on the Hyundai Creta and the Renault Duster. Powering these SUVs will be an all-new 1.2-litre turbo petrol engine and a 1.5-litre diesel, and you can also expect an extensive equipment list to help the XUV 300 take on its well-established rivals. The Mitsubishi Outlander. With more and more buyers taking to petrol SUVs, Mitsubishi thinks now's a good time to bring the latest generation of its Outlander SUV to India. You might remember the old Outlander which was sold here some years ago, but this one is a whole lot different. It gets fresh styling and a lot of engineering changes as well. It will be brought to India as a CBU in a single, fully loaded 7-seater guise with a 170 horsepower 2.4-litre petrol under the hood. We expect it to cost around 30 lakh rupees when it's launched in early 2018. The Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. In spite of several revisions and updates, the current Pajero Sport hasn't managed to make a serious dent in the dominance of the Fortuner and Endeavour, which is why Mitsubishi will launch the all-new version in early 2018. This rugged 7-seat SUV is larger than its predecessor with more interior space. The exterior styling is now edgy and contemporary looking, while the cabin has been thoroughly modernized. Powering this mammoth will be the same 181 horsepower 2.4-litre turbo diesel mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. There is an all-new switchable 4-wheel drive system with a low-range transfer case for hardcore off-roading. And we expect Mitsubishi to price it a bit lower than the Fortuner and Endeavour. The Nissan Kicks. It's similar to the Renault Captur under the skin, but it is sharper and more modern looking, with an almost coupe-like profile and floating roof design. The Kicks crossover will feature a spacious interior packed with equipment like 7-inch touchscreen with smartphone connectivity, side and curtain airbags, traction control, and a 360-degree camera. Powering the Kicks will be the same set of 1.5-litre petrol and diesel motors as the Nissan Terrano. When launched in mid-2018, pricing is expected to slot in somewhere between the Hyundai Creta and the Jeep Compass. The Skoda KAROQ. The Yeti had a small but loyal fan following in India, but most found it a bit too expensive for its size. Perhaps it was a bit ahead of its time because now people are willing to pay a good amount of money for a premium SUV. It's the perfect time then for the Yeti's spiritual successor, the KAROQ, to make its debut. Similar in size to the VW Tiguan, it will be priced a little lower, at 25 to 30 lakh rupees. It will still, however, be well equipped with goodies like a digital instrument cluster and still a good deal less expensive than its 7-seat sibling, the Kodiaq. It is expected to be powered by the same 1.4-litre petrol and 2-litre diesel engines as the Octavia with and without AWD, and unlike the old Yeti, you can expect automatic gearboxes too. The Tata H5 and H7. The success of the Nexon is proof that Tata has finally been able to shed its old image and is being seen in a more positive, more premium light. It is looking to capitalize on this with 2 brand new SUVs, a 5-seater and a 7-seater. The bigger news, however, is that both will be built on the premium platform of the Land Rover Discovery Sport. Powering these 2 SUVs will be Fiat's 2-litre multi-jet 2-engine from the Compass that will be tuned to develop 140 horsepower on the H5 and 170 horsepower on the H7. Expect 2 and all-wheel drive versions with prices ranging from 13 to 20 lakh rupees when it's launched in late 2018.